Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Today we're talking about creating new work routines. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. Last week from this same chair on this same channel, I talked about the power of routines to improve our lives. And so if you didn't watch that, you can go back and watch it. But let's just think about your routines for a second. Have you ever been in a situation when things were changing and you were a little bit disoriented and maybe even discombobulated? Well, one of the reasons was that change got you out of sync with your routines, or the routines that you used before don't work anymore. So, for example, you may now be working from home and you didn't used to do that. So you may still feel a bit disoriented and discombobulated in relationship to that. So what we want to do today is help you think about how to consciously create new routines, whether they're because you're now working remotely or for any other reason. How can you consciously create new routines that will serve you best? Let's talk about that now. Okay. First thing is review your former routines looking for winners. So even if your situation is now different from what it was, you had a routine for a certain thing before. How did that work? And what about it was effective? And then how can you tweak it for the new situation? So look at your past routines to say what worked and what didn't, right? Then translate old into new. If there were things that you used to do that worked really well, let's either replicate them now or tweak them for your new situation. So what we're really talking about here is routines are subconscious, they're habit, but what we're talking about now is looking at those and deciding which ones of these might serve us best moving forward. Next, ask yourself, what do I need now? Again, your situation might be different. So maybe exactly the way I did the routine before won't work or wouldn't really serve me now. So the question is, what do I need now? Answer that question on paper, then decide and map it out. So map it out, like write down, here are the steps that I want to take. Most of us don't do that. And when we're trying to develop a new routine, it's going to take us a while to get used to it. Then make a checklist. Did you know that pilots use hundreds of checklists? Well, maybe not hundreds in every situation, but they have checklists for hundreds of situations that they face. They don't just go out and say, well, how are we going to start flying today? They have a checklist to follow. I'm suggesting that until your new routine really becomes a routine, you need a checklist. I'm going to do this. 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 So I've written it down. I've mapped it out. I've built a checklist, and then get started. It won't be a routine the first day. The first day it will take a little discipline. But over time, through repetition, you'll tweak it, you'll make it better, and then you'll lock it in. And you will now have created a new routine for work or otherwise that will serve you far into the future. Let me close with today's tweet. You have routines, but are they serving you? Think about your routines and decide which ones are helping you reach your goals and change the rest. Back at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, we started sending a remote work email twice a week. It's designed for people who work and or lead remotely. It only shares information and resources that are related to remote work and working remotely and leading remotely. And if that's you and you'd like resources to help you keep getting better, well, you can sign up for that newsletter right here, and we'll make sure that twice a week you get that. I hope you'll do that, and I hope that you'll be back next week for another episode of Remarkable TV.